We bought a rig just last week down in Tulsa, the leather seats, but we forgot the map was old, and now we're lost, ain't that so bold? The toilet's blocked, don't you frown, spilling waste all over town. The engine sputters, ain't she sweet? This RV life's one big treat. Say hello to hidden trees, say goodbye to towing fees, knocking pipes, leaky roof, under stars, we're waterproof.
All right, so today we're diving into something I think a lot of people are curious about. How do you stay connected when you're trying to, well, disconnect? Like, picture this. You're out in your RV exploring some amazing off-grid spot, but you still want to be able to, check your email or post a picture or two.
It's definitely a balancing act, trying to merge those two worlds.
Exactly. And luckily, there's some pretty cool tech out there that can help make it happen. We found this awesome article from happyhybridcamper.com. It's called Off the Grid But Online, Keeping Connected in the Wildest Spots. So, first things first, how do you even get Wi-Fi in the middle of nowhere? Is it like magic?
Not quite magic, but it can feel that way. One option is a portable Wi-Fi hotspot. Basically, it's like having your own personal mini cell tower. It takes a cellular signal and transforms it into Wi-Fi that you can use with your devices.
So it's boosting the signal that's already out there. You can't just create a signal out of thin air.
You got it. It needs something to work with.
Which means doing your research on data plans and coverage beforehand is super important.
Absolutely. Especially if you're planning on venturing into those really remote areas.
Okay, noted. The article recommends the Netgear Nighthawk M1, if you heard of that one.
Oh yeah, the Nighthawk is a popular choice, and for good reason. It can handle up to 20 devices connecting at once, so it's great for groups or families.
Oh wow, so everyone can be on their devices at the same time and it won't slow down to a crawl?
Exactly. Plus the battery life is pretty impressive, which is essential when you're off-grid.
Makes sense. So let's say I'm in a spot with a weak signal, but not a total dead zone. Is there anything you can do to boost what's already there?
Definitely. That's where cell phone signal boosters come in. They take that weak, barely there signal and amplify it, so your devices can connect more reliably.
So, how does a booster actually work? Does it create a signal out of thin air?
It's not creating a signal, it's more like amplifying what's already there. Think of it as a megaphone for your cell signal.
Oh, I like that analogy. It makes it so much easier to understand. I noticed the article mentions the WeBoost Drive Reach RV. Is that one specifically designed for RVs?
It is, and there's a good reason for that. Being in a moving vehicle, often in remote areas, creates some unique challenges for signal boosting. The WeBoost Drive Reach is built to handle those challenges, so you're more likely to have a consistent connection.
Okay, so we've covered hotspots and boosters for areas with at least a little bit of cell service. But what about those truly off-the-grid spots? The places where cell service simply doesn't exist?
Well, in those cases, satellite internet is often the only option.
Right, like Starlink. I've heard a lot about that one.
Yes, Starlink for RVs by SpaceX is getting a lot of attention, and for good reason. It uses a network of satellites to provide high-speed internet almost anywhere in the world.
That sounds pretty futuristic. But the article mentioned that it's best for stationary use. What does that mean exactly?
So right now, Starlink for RVs works best when you're parked in one spot for a while. Think of it like this. It's perfect for setting up camp and staying put for a few days or even weeks. It's not really designed for connecting while you're on the move, at least not yet.
Got it. So it's perfect for those who like to find a beautiful spot and really soak it in for a while. Now, this is all great, but what about power? All this tech is useless if your devices are dead. How do people keep things charged when they're off the grid?
That's the million-dollar question. Power is definitely a key consideration when you're living that off-grid life. One popular solution is solar power, which is pretty cool when you think about it. You're harnessing the energy of the sun to charge your devices.
It's like free energy, right? Talk about being eco-conscious.
Exactly. And the article mentions the Anchor PowerPort Solar Light, which is a good option for RVs. It's compact, portable, and efficient, so you can easily set it up and capture those rays.
Okay, but what about when the sun goes down or if it's cloudy? You can't rely on solar power 24/7, right?
You're right, solar power is great, but it does have its limitations.
So what's the backup plan?
A portable power bank is essential for those times when solar isn't an option. It's basically a battery pack that you can charge up beforehand and use to power your devices on the go.
I would say like a reserve tank of energy. The article talks about the Anker Power Core 26800 mAh power bank, but I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, those numbers can be a bit confusing, right? AMO stands for milliampere hour, and it basically tells you how much power the bank can store.
So the higher the number, the more power it can hold.
Exactly. But how much power you actually need will depend on what devices you're using and how much you're using them.
Okay, so I need to do a little math before I head out, figure out how much power I'm going to need to keep my devices running.
It's worth it. Trust me, the last thing you want is to be in the middle of nowhere with a dead phone and no way to charge it.
No kidding. Okay, so we've covered power. Now let's talk about navigation. GPS is super important when you're off the beaten path. But what happens when you don't have cell service and those fancy map apps won't work?
That's when offline maps become your best friend.
So we're talking old school paper maps, like the kind I used to use on family road trips as a kid.
Well, paper maps are definitely an option, but technology has come a long way. There are now apps that let you download maps for offline use, so you can still navigate even without cell service.
Oh, wow. So I can download a map of like a whole national park and have it on my phone, even if there's no signal.
Exactly. The app mentioned in the article, Gaia GPS, is a great example. It offers detailed topographic maps, satellite imagery, and even road maps, all downloadable for offline use.
That's incredible. So even if you venture off the grid, you're not totally lost.
Precisely. Offline maps give you that peace of mind, knowing you can always find your way back no matter what.
I remember getting lost trying to find a trailhead once. If I'd had those offline maps back then, it would have saved me a lot of stress and backtracking.
I've definitely been there. Having those maps readily available can be a real game changer, especially when you're exploring unfamiliar territory.
Okay, so we've talked about staying connected in terms of Wi-Fi, power, and navigation. But here's the big question. Why is all this connectivity so important when the whole point of going off-grid is to disconnect?
Well, it's about finding the balance that works best for you. For some people, staying partially connected actually enhances the off-grid experience.
Oh, interesting. In what way?
It can provide a sense of security, especially if you're traveling alone or with family. Knowing that you can reach out for help if needed or check the weather forecast can make you feel more comfortable venturing further out.
That makes sense. It's like you're choosing to go off-grid, but you're not totally abandoning all sense of safety and connection.
Exactly. And plus, think about the convenience factor. Need to find a gas station in a remote area? Want to check reviews for a campground before you commit to staying there? Having access to information like that can save you a lot of hassle and make your trip run more smoothly.
Okay, so safety and convenience, I get that. But what about people who see going off-grid as a way to escape from work? Isn't staying connected counterproductive in that case?
It might seem that way, but for some people, staying connected is actually what makes that off-grid lifestyle possible. I'm talking about people who work remotely or run online businesses. Having a reliable internet connection allows them to earn a living while enjoying the freedom and flexibility of being on the road.
So they can have their laptop and their campfire too. Work during the day and then enjoy the beauty of nature in the evenings.
Exactly. And for them, having a solid internet connection is essential.
It's kind of a paradox, isn't it? The internet allows them to disconnect from the traditional 9-to-5 grind in the first place.
Absolutely. But it's a paradox that's opening up a world of possibilities for how and where people choose to live and work.
Mind-blowing. So we've got safety, convenience, and work as reasons to stay connected. But what about those of us who are just looking to escape and have fun? What about the pure joy of disconnection?
Well, there's definitely something to be said for that. But even if you're not working or worried about emergencies, staying connected can still enhance your off-grid experience in other ways.
Oh, really? How so?
Think about sharing your experiences with friends and family. Snapping a picture of that stunning sunset and texting it to your best friend, or posting a video of your hike on social media.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. It's like bringing them along for the adventure, even if they can't physically be there.
Exactly. It's about sharing those special moments and staying connected with your loved ones, even when you're miles apart.
I like that. It's like sending a virtual postcard, but way cooler.
And beyond sharing photos and videos, sometimes it's just nice to have that quick connection, a quick text or phone call to let someone know you're thinking of them or to hear a familiar voice. It can make you feel grounded and connected even when you're physically far away.
It's like a little reminder that you're not alone, even when you're out in the wilderness.
Exactly. Those little connections can make a big difference, especially if you're traveling solo or feeling a bit homesick.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. Safety, convenience, work. Social connections. It seems like there are a lot of good reasons to stay connected, even when you're trying to disconnect from everyday life.
There are definitely advantages, but it's important to remember that it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. For some folks, the whole point of going off-grid is to completely unplug and embrace a true digital detox.
Oh, yeah, I get that. No emails, no social media, no news alerts. Just you, nature, and the open road.
Exactly. And there's something truly magical about that kind of disconnection.
It's about being present in the moment and connecting with nature on a deeper level.
You got it. And that's the beauty of it all. There's no right or wrong way to approach connectivity while going off-grid.
So it's not about being constantly online or constantly offline. It's about having the freedom to choose what works best for you.
Exactly. And sometimes that choice might change from one trip to the next, or even from one day to the next.
I like that. It's all about flexibility and being intentional about how you use technology, both on and off the grid.
Well said. And that brings us to an interesting question. It really is all about finding that balance, isn't it?
It is. And speaking of balance, maybe that's a good way to frame this whole connectivity thing, because when I think of off-grid, I picture being totally unreachable, like no phone, no internet, just me and nature. But you're saying there are actually good reasons to have some connection out there.
Absolutely. Especially when you consider the safety aspect. Think about it. You're miles from civilization, and something unexpected happens. Maybe there's an accident, or a sudden storm rolls in, or even just a flat tire in a spot with zero cell service.
Okay, yeah, in those situations, being able to call for help would be pretty important.
Exactly. Being able to contact emergency services or check weather reports or even just let someone know where you are. Those things can be crucial in those unexpected situations.
I hadn't really thought about it that way. It's like you're choosing to go off-grid, but you're not completely abandoning all sense of security.
Right. And that peace of mind can make the whole experience more enjoyable, especially if you're traveling with family or venturing into more remote or challenging areas.
Makes sense. You're prepared for the what-ifs, even if you're hoping they never happen.
Exactly. And even beyond emergencies, staying connected can just make things a lot easier. Need to find a gas station in a remote area? Want to check reviews for a campground before you commit to staying there? Having that real-time information can save you a lot of hassle.
Okay, yeah, I've definitely gotten lost trying to find a trailhead before. Having a map app, even offline, would have been a lifesaver. But what about people who are using their off-grid time to, escape from work? Isn't it kind of counterproductive to stay connected in that case?
That's a good question. And for some people, it might be. But for others, staying connected is actually what makes that off-grid lifestyle possible in the first place. Think about people who work remotely or run online businesses.
Oh, right. So they can have their laptop and their campfire, too.
Precisely. And for them, having a reliable internet connection is essential.
It's funny, isn't it? The internet is what allows them to disconnect from the traditional 9-to-5 world in the first place.
It is. It's a paradox, but it's a paradox that's opening up new possibilities for how and where people choose to live and work.
Okay, so we've got safety, convenience, and work as reasons to stay connected while going off-grid. But what about those of us who are just looking to escape and have fun? What about the pure joy of disconnection?
There's definitely a lot to be said for that. But even if you're not working or worried about emergencies, staying connected can still enhance your off-grid adventures in other ways.
Really? Like how?
Think about sharing your experiences with friends and family back home.
Okay, yeah, posting those epic landscape photos on Instagram.
Exactly. But it's more than just that. It's about sharing those special moments in real time and bringing your loved ones along for the journey.
It's like a virtual postcard, but way cooler.
Right. And even beyond photos and videos, sometimes it's just nice to have that quick connection, a quick text or a phone call to let someone know you're thinking of them. It can help you feel grounded and connected, even when you're physically far away.
It's like a little reminder that you're not alone, even when you're out in the wilderness.
Exactly. And those little connections can make a big difference, especially if you're traveling solo or feeling a bit homesick.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Safety, convenience, work, social connections. It seems like there are a lot of good reasons to stay connected, even when you're trying to disconnect from everyday life.
There are definitely benefits, but it's important to remember that it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
True.
For some folks, the whole point of going off-grid is to completely unplug and embrace a true digital detox.
Yeah, I totally get that. No emails, no social media, no news alerts, just you, nature, and the open road.
Exactly. And there's something truly magical about that kind of disconnection. It's about being present in the moment and connecting with nature on a deeper level.
It sounds amazing. So it's not about being constantly online or constantly offline. It's about having the freedom to choose what works best for you.
Exactly. And sometimes that choice might change from one trip to the next, or even from one day to the next.
It's about flexibility and being intentional about how we use technology both on and off the grid.
Well said. And that brings us to a really interesting question. So how connected do you want to be when you're off-grid?
Ooh, that's a good one. I guess it really depends, right?
It does. It all comes down to what feels right for you. Does staying partially connected enhance the experience, or does true disconnection hold more appeal?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes I crave that total disconnect, but then other times I'm like, wait, I need to Google something.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance that allows you to truly enjoy the off-grid experience on your own terms.
And maybe that balance changes from trip to trip or even day to day.
Absolutely. What works for one person or in one situation might not work for another. The key is to be intentional about it.
Right, like if I'm going on a solo backpacking trip, maybe I want to be totally off the grid. But if I'm on a road trip with my family, maybe some connectivity is a good thing, just for safety and convenience.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all about figuring out what works best for you and being mindful of how technology is impacting your experience.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on staying connected while going off grid.
I'm glad to hear that. It's a topic that's becoming more and more relevant as people seek out those off-grid adventures.
It's amazing how technology is changing the way we experience the world, isn't it?
It really is. So, to our listeners out there who are planning their next off-grid adventure, I encourage you to take some time to think about how you want to approach connectivity, do some research, figure out what tools and strategies will work best for you, and most importantly, have fun out there.
Great advice. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to our listeners, happy adventuring. Whether you choose to stay connected or embrace complete disconnection, we hope you find what works best for you. Until next time on The Deep Dive.